Hello everyone, you're welcome in Bookshelf Babble live session. Here we talk about books and related topics. You're welcome, and I'm your host Yohani. I'm very glad to be here with you, and next 30 minutes or maybe more talk about book with you. Okay, as a regular, I want to just mention, if you watch this session in any platform like Twitch or YouTube, feel free to write the comments. I will like to answer your questions. We can make a communication like this. Feel free to write something in the comments. Okay, just some second. I will prepare the link what I want to post. Okay. Okay, let's go to talk about books with people around the world. As a regular, we go to Hello Talk application. It's application where people around the world learn languages. I think you should be remember about this. And I start my voice room, and my voice room has name "What book are you reading?" And here we go. Okay, now we're ready. Okay. Just tell some words and tell some words about I'm streaming this session on YouTube. Okay, I sit up and ready to wait when someone joined to ask for today talk. Okay, just some small, just like this. Okay, now it's more. Big. In the time when we wait, I just want to share and remind my current reading status. I'm still reading book which has name The Midnight Library by Haig. Yeah, you can see I have like a book, how it's called, bookmark, and I'm just around like 100 pages is rest. I think I should be finished and completed during the weekend. Yeah, it's so very interesting. I like it. I like the style. It's sometimes is slightly simple. How author describe and how plot goes, and in most of the cases, it's more similar to the scenery for the film, not just like to some kind of big deep books. Yeah, it's just some kind of scenery for good Hollywood films. I think maybe author write this book and thought this book will be based on this big book will be made the film. I don't know. I don't check. Maybe the film exists. I'm not sure. Because it's very pretty simple scenery compose, and I think if you decided to make the film, it's don't need a lot of like two changes. Yeah, it's my current reading status, The Midnight Library by Haig. Yeah, I read this paper variant of this book. Okay, we have some guests in Hello Talk. Hey, hello everyone. If you want to talk, just raise your hand. I will add you to conversation here. If you want to watch the video version of talk, I sent the link before. I just duplicate again. You can follow the link and you can find my YouTube channel where I stream in this session. You can check and watch online, and also you can check like previous talk, and also some kind of stories I I posted several stories about my reading status, what I complete, and some kind of recommendation what people like to post here. Yeah, just go check the content and put the like if you like it. And if you want to talk about books here, just raise your hand. I will add you to conversation. It's more simple. Or if you have some question, you can write on the chat, or it will be nice if you write your current reading status. What book are you reading? Please write the name and author. I will try to find some information about this. Yeah. And I just remind and repeat again, I am still reading the Midnight Library by Haig. It's pretty new book and published in 2020. Okay, the Midnight Library by Haig. Yeah, and this book, I think it's so very popular because I check around like 6 million copies was sold during the last several years. And yeah, it's some pretty simple light structure of the plot, but some interesting idea and very interesting how it's called. Okay, I think it's not idea, not so like too very unique, but it's all combined very like too organically, and read it's very easily. Yeah, it's my reading status. What book are you reading? It will be interesting to know if you complete, or maybe you are you reading something interesting now. It will be nice if you share here. Or if you want to talk, just raise your hand and I will add you to conversation here. Okay. And also, it will be nice to know, do you have some kind of reading goals on this year? Because every time when the 1 year is end, we like to do some kind of summarization and like to set new goals for year. And I try to do this every year and set some kind of my reading goals. And last year I set like around like 36 books, but I didn't reach these goals. I just complete around like 11. Yeah, but in this year I try to read more. I set the goals around like 50 books. I'm not sure I'm reach these goals, but it's some kind of good motivation to read a lot, especially when I have free time. Yeah, it will be interesting to know what your reading goals for this year, and maybe you have some kind of interesting target for reading. Maybe you have some kind of, I don't know, book list of books of what you want to read. Yeah. Okay. We go to talk. Hey, hello, how are you?
Fine, thanks for asking. And how are you, Yohemi?
Hey, I'm fine, Lucy. It's nice to meet you here. And what book are you reading in current moment?
Nowadays, I'm reading one book that has been written by a French writer. The name is Mon Mari, my husband.
Okay. I think
now I'm studying French, so I began to read in French, obviously, to improve my vocabulary. and it has been, yeah, Mod Ventura. That's it. It has been really famous or popular in French last year. So one of my friends who is living in French recommended to me. So I decided to read it, and well, it's interesting. Yeah, I cannot say that it's the best read it's the best book I ever read, but the way it is written, it always makes you feel like this inquietude. I don't know how to say it in English, but like this discomfort, what is happening in the next chapter. So it's written in a way that I love.
Okay, thanks for sharing this. It's some kind of like a detective. Is it correct?
No, it's like to make a long story short, is a woman who is obsessed of her marriage, and he always wants more, and he wants to control her life, and also his husband life, and she's writing everything her husband does, and he's always looking for something, some kind of key, and she's always afraid of if he cheat her, like it's like a controller. She's like a controller, and the fact I can't spoil it, but because I'm sure you are not going to read it because it's more a women book. But the fact is that his husband knows everything what she does to control him, but he's okay with this kind of life, and he allow her to act like this.
Okay, I think it's some very like to life-related book about like real life in real relationship in the family when they each one want to control each other and like to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, thanks for this suggestion and sharing. I just add like to in my reading list, and maybe in some point I will pick up it. Yeah, if you have English translation of this book, because I found it's like to French. I'm not sure it's translated on English, but maybe. Okay.
It has been translated also in Spanish. I don't know if it in English. It has been also translated.
Okay. I see your like Spanish flag, Spain flag, and can you tell some word about like to reading culture in Spain? Is it like too common when the people like to read the book in public place, or how we can describe?
I'm not really sure. I think that reading is not highly spread here in Spain. I mean, there are kind of people who are reading, but I could swear that less than 50% of the population is now a day reading a book.
Okay. And I like to ask some kind of just like to think an experiment. For example, when you use the public transport, is it common situation when you see the people with paper book instead of the phone for scrolling and just sit and read the paper book? Is it common situation in Spain?
Well, to be honest, I don't take public transportation because I live in a small village. So, but last time it was like, but it's not really common. Are more people like scrolling their phones than reading a book.
Okay. It's interesting. But if you talk about like your place where you live in, is it some free to find the like new books? For example, if you want to buy like a paper variant of book, what do you do? You buy online or go library maybe, or ask like to friends?
Well, yeah, we have a library here, and also if you cannot find some kind of book, you can ask for it. And we have like it's a small town, not more than Nowadays, they are living like 10,000 people, so it's not big, but we can buy some book here. There are two bookstores, so yeah, but it's easier sometimes to ask it in Amazon.
Okay. And this I have a question about library, because I think it's not so like to very easy time now, because a lot of like to another popular sources of information like to phone, YouTube, and some another. Is it like to still like to, I don't know, popular and people go to library, or maybe some library close? Do you have some like to feeling about how what happened with library in your hometown, for example?
Yeah, here I think that people loves go to the library because it's just in the center of the town, and it's so easy just to step in, maybe look over some reviews or some newspaper, and after you can go do whatever you do. So yeah, it's like a meeting point also, because you can find a lot of people inside. You meet someone, you greet the other, your neighbor. So yeah, it's like, yeah, and also because here it's really cold, and sometimes you are just um, walking in the street and you think, okay, I'm gonna go to the library to read a newspaper, and after I get hot, and after I can continue my things. So yeah, here it's a good point. It's a reunion point of the people of the town.
Okay. I see a very similarity with Sweden. I'm living in Sweden now, in here, and library not just place where people can like to borrow book. In most of the time, it's just place for like to cultural activities, like to meetings by interest, just sit and read the papers, because a lot of like to comfortable chairs present, and all newspapers present, and people just like to sit, and also it's very like comfortable and very nice like to build. In other words, it's not just library. Yeah, I think in your town it's just, I think it's the same like to it's not just library, but it's like a cultural point where people like to spend the time.
And also here, what they do is in winter time they do some activities for the kids. For example, reading a novel or reading some kids book. That's nice also, because it just gather a lot of people inside with the same interest, and also with families. There are this kind of activities to gather people around the culture.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, in this case I like to library, and especially in this lighter format, because it's some additional attraction point. Just like a small like remind about library here in Sweden, and very often library it's located in some shopping center. Another is like a big shop, like a mall, and in this mall is present library. And it's also like a good solution, because you're possible like to buy some stuff, and at the same time you like to kids and like to relatives possible like to spend hours when waiting, you not just sitting but sitting in the library. Okay, I have another question regarding to Spain. Can you suggest like to one Spain author who write about Spain, how people live in Spain, and maybe like to action happen in Spain? Do you have some author on your mind?
Yeah, yes, there are like some costumbristes. That is the sixth, this word, costumbristes, that they are the people who describe our way of life, our culture. Yeah, obviously it was the most known writer in our country has been always Cervantes, but it's like old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a classic. Nowadays, yeah, we can say that. Let me think the name. It just slipped my mind. One moment, I'm gonna check it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, I think Cervantes is some kind of classic, like Shakespeare. It's like very famous, but sometimes it's complicated for reading, especially for modern like people. And in book is so very big. I think it's not so inspired many of the people to read this book. Yeah.
This is a writer which I love. It has many books, and yeah, we can read in the lines how we live and how we behave.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I found one of the book of this author. I think it, and it's like to some popular author in Spain now.
Yeah, La sombra del viento, the shadow of the wind. Yes.
Okay, it has very high rating here in like Goodreads. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah. Okay, thanks for this like to sharing. I will add to my like to reading list, and yeah, I will like to try to investigate.
By the way, do you have any particular book that is your favorite or that you always recommend people to read?
Oh, I don't know. It's some complicated question because I think I like to some science fiction book about space traveling, post-apocalyptic world, but I think it's not like to your maybe your favorite genre. But I can like to recommend. It's not one of the best book, but I really enjoy to read now. It's the Midnight Library. I'm reading now this book. I tell some words before. It's by Matt Haig. It's some British. It's also like a popular British author. It's describe. It's write about. I think about love to life and how life is amazing and how we should be like to care and I don't know, care each moment in our life. I type the name of the book. Midnight. Yeah, I type it.
Okay.
It's some. I think it's like to light book. It's not so heavy, not like too dramatic. A very straightforward plot, but some interesting idea. Yeah, I like it. I think this book it should be you like to. Yeah. And also I can recommend one book was like to inspired me, and I like to use some kind of suggestion from this book. It's very popular now, Atomic Habits.
Yeah, I have heard about it.
Yeah, I think it's
Really to self-help or self-developing books, but yeah, maybe I give it a shot because it has become really popular. Yeah. And do you think it's interesting and give you some ideas or give you some some ideas about how to improve yourself?
yeah, it's one of the reasons why I like this book. I like this book not because it's some very well written, because I like to find some very nice idea. I like it and I try to use. And I not care about habits before, but after reading this book, I just think, okay, habits it's maybe our very powerful tool, and we can use it for improve our like skills. And the main idea of the book it's the habits it's some very small like actions, but if you do this every day, and we can reach a like real good like progress. And on the start of the book and first part of the book, it's they just suggest some several like real life examples how small improvements can lead to big goals in sport in life. And after this, I just try to apply this for my for my life and for my to improve my English skills. And I like to really enjoy. For example, I use this application. I try to use this application every day, just for practice, in around 25 minutes. It's not so much, but if you do this every day, it's you have real progress. Or some another small practices I try to do every day. Yeah, I really like, because it's open the strengths of behavior for me.
Oh, nice to hear. Yeah, it's a useful book, as you explain us.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why it's type popular, because when people read it, just slightly wow effect, or they start thinking about, wow, its habits is so powerful. Yeah, and I think you can find it in the French, because it's translated on many languages, and you can use it for practice. I think its language is not so complicated.
And by the way, you are the kind of person that are reading more than one book at the same time?
It's some complicated question. I try to different approach. I try to read one book in from start to end, but sometimes you possible in stuck, because maybe book it's not so interesting, and you just like to not continue to read another book, maybe some more interesting. And I just feel free to, if your book not interesting and maybe some slightly, I don't know, boring, because it's non-fiction book, for example, about history, it's some complicated to read from start to end. I just allow myself to stop reading and take another book. Yeah, and sometimes I read 2-3 books by parts, and sometimes I back on 2-3 months just for complete the book. It's my strategy now.
Okay.
But what about you? What is your what are you type? What type of person are you? Do you read one book in time, or 2-3?
Yeah, I love to read one. Let's see, one book in one moment, please, because I'm a little bit blocked now. But when it comes to books, I love to read several books at the same time. I mean, one maybe it's a fiction book, and the other are like Atomic Habits, for example, or some kind of these books that can help me a little bit, even though they are not my favorites. But for example, I can read at the same time. It didn't start with you. That it's it's a self-development book, and also I can read a nutrition book, and I can have another about history or about medicine, whatever I want to know. But the main book I'm reading is the fiction one, which I really enjoy. But someday, if I'm tired of this book, I can go to the others, and maybe I'm gonna finish them in 1 year. But every month I try to read one fiction book that I really enjoy to do it. And also, I don't force myself to read the book if I'm not enjoying it. I mean, I give it a shot, 30, 40 pages. If I think that it's not my thing, I just leave it. I read because I enjoy reading, not because I have the duty or the obligation of doing it. It's a hobby, not an obligation. So at the beginning, it was difficult for me to accept that I can leave some book without finish it. But now I accept just that it's not my book. There are millions of books waiting to be read. So I just change.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and it's a very good point. And I like just think about. I remind one famous person told about during the life, every person like capable of read around like 200, maybe 500 books per life. And in other words, we should be very care about like to book what are you reading. And I think it's a good point, if your book not like to enjoy you just like to leave this book and go to another, because maybe this book will be like a turning point for your life, or you get like a very, I don't know, very interesting experience. Yeah. And also I think it's author responsibility to keep interesting for readers, because sometimes when the plot it's not so interesting, especially in the middle of the book, and author just like to goes without some I don't know, some additional like interesting moments, and the readers like to may just start boring. And I think it's author should be like to some kind of genius to just feel what reader expect and like to make maybe plot more interesting.
Yeah, but I was now thinking about what you said, that the writer has to know what the reader wants. And I'm pretty sure you know Isabel Allende. It's a Chilean writer, really famous here in Spain. And she always began to write a book on the 8th of January, so yesterday, every single year. And she also is a blockbuster, or she always is a, how do you say that a book is really famous? Yeah, it has a special name, like in the films it's blockbuster, and I don't know now the name, but well, it always hit the spot. I mean, it's always the 10 most sell books, and it's curious because she still knows how to make the plot interesting for the bestseller.
Yeah. I understand your point, and I talked about like to writer should be responsible for keep interesting, but it's this also is some kind of controversial, because if you author like to more care about readers, they make some kind just like to blockbuster, as you mentioned, just like to some kind of book what fit as much people as possible. But in reality, just you should be just add some kind of cute plot and some cute heroes and some cute like ideas, and bam, you have like two good like two cells. But yeah, in this case, I think it's very complicated to bring something new or open something new in like to people character. And I think in opposite this, the like the true author should be just response his point of view, and maybe it's not should be care about like to readers, they just like to try to reflect the like point of view on the life. And maybe this point it will be very different from reader expected, and in this case it's not like a problem of author if you like to borrow something and it's just like to pure art. Yeah, but I think it's most of the like popular book and bestsellers, it's some kind of just, I don't know, very well made films with nice picture, but in not so like to this deep sense or deep investigation of human nature. Yeah, it's some kind of controversials about be a popular book and be a like to very deep book. In this case, I very like to wonder it, because most of the Nobel Prizes in literature in really not like to author of bestsellers. And very often when you get the name of the Nobel Prize, your first question, who is this? And maybe you even don't know about this author.
Yeah. You were talking about a few minutes ago about which were our goals when it comes to reading this year. And I remember one year that I said myself, now this year I'm gonna read at least 4 or 5 Prize Nobel literature books. I wasn't able. I mean, it was so hard for me because yeah, they write in a way that maybe is not for normal or popular or single people. They are really hard to read, some of them.
Yeah. And reading of this
Yeah,
book, I think it's not just like to enjoy. It should be just kind of like to work. You should be think and try to
yeah,
more reflection than just like to consume this book.
yeah. That was the reason. It was like, my God, it was for me an extra effort than I used to read just before nighttime, before bedtime. So my brain is not working 100%. So I just want something that allow me to have a nice time and not think deeply. And those
Yeah.
kind of books are for thinking deeply.
Yeah, sure. And in this case, I slightly cite about my favorite genre about sci-fi books, it's like to say scientific fiction books, because I'm not. I just understand this book is just about like to enjoy reading and just interesting plot, not about like to deep, like to meaning, like to sell, like to life meaning, or just like to investigation of human nature. It's just like to about more about fun. And yeah, I slightly sad, but I just like it and enjoy how author writes like to ideas, how they combine scientific like to facts in like to build the plot. It's some kind of like to light genre, but it's not so deep as like a true book. Okay, I think it's time for wrap up for today, because as I mentioned, by Atomic Habits, I try to be here around like 30 minutes and make conversation around 30 minutes, and maybe we should be wrap up. And I want to tell it was very nice talk with you, and just like to prove me the book is some very different, and is you can find the any book what you want and what you enjoy, especially like to for you, and it's one of the points why we like the book.
So yeah, same here. I really enjoy talking with you and hope see you again here.
Yeah, I try to be regular here. Just follow me and join for voice room when I start, and it will be nice to talk next time.
Okay. So have a nice weekend.
Nice, happy. Thank for your time and take care, and see you next time.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, it was very super nice talk for today. I very enjoyed to talk, and we have some several interesting like to suggestion and references. Yeah, I really like today tales, and yeah, cool. I just like to formulate for myself some questions, some answers, and some thoughts. It will be interesting to know what you think about this particular session, and do you find something interesting, and what you like to mention, and what your thoughts about like to book blockbuster and like to Nobel Prize winners. What is the difference between these two type of the book? Okay. Anyway, thanks for your time. If you watch in any platform, feel free to write the comments and put the like. It just kind of motivate me make the content for next time. And see you next time here in Bookshelf Babble live session. Bye.